My name is Mari, and I am Shared Studios art director and senior graphic designer. Today, I look a little different, and my background looks a little different because I am right now in Miami preparing for Prosper show in March. It's going to be in Las Vegas. We're super excited to get there, and also have in mind that we will be given a 2.5-hour workshop in which we will teach you everything and anything that you need to know about our secret formula at Shared Studio and how you can apply this, but a successful storefront, a successful Amazon post platform, everything. So we're super excited to be there. We will also have our own booth that which you can attend from the 14th to the 15th of the same month. Or if you would like a discount code, you will see it right now with the magical post-production, and see you there. Thank you so much. Now, today we are talking about, I would say, one of the most important aspects of an Amazon listing. I know we say that everything's important, but seriously, everything's important. And in this case, we're talking about hero images. Remember that hero images serve as the first impression of your product to any seller. It is like a profile picture. I love saying that when I am talking to clients. Basically, imagine someone with a horrible and kind of creepy looking profile picture adds you on Facebook or adds you or sends you the request to follow you on Instagram. If they have this horrible picture, most likely you will decline that request because you don't want someone that creepy following you. However, if someone that looks like, I don't know, who's someone beautiful that we can all agree upon, maybe like Ryan Reynolds, I know everyone loves him. If Ryan Reynolds follows you on Instagram or Facebook, 100% you're gonna accept them. Like, if you don't, I don't know what's going on with you. So imagine someone looking like that follows you. The exact same thing happens with product images on Amazon. If you have a very bad image, people are not gonna click on it. If you have a beautiful image, people are gonna click. So today we're gonna see how you can make an image that is not blurry, but also that is effective. So let's go with that right now. How would a blurry image affect your Amazon listing? Well, the first thing is that obviously someone who doesn't invest in having a good hero image most likely doesn't invest in having a good product. And this doesn't happen just with hero images, but also with every single other image. Infographics and lifestyle and A+ and brand story, every single thing in your listing should look good because it is a direct representation of your product on the images. So you have to make sure that they look good and also that it is trustworthy. So yes, it will appeal less professional because the worse the quality, the worse the service, if that makes sense. Number 2, your customers won't be able to see important details such as size or features. Now here we're talking about just blurry images on Amazon in general. As I mentioned, it's not just about having good hero images, but having good content overall. So when you have blurry infographics, for example, the text gets lost because when you zoom in, you cannot even read what it says. So you have to make sure, of course, I've made videos about infographics and how you can make them effective before. I will be sure that the team will leave it somewhere around here or on the description below. But yes, people can miss details if you don't have a good quality image. So you have to make sure that that image is the highest quality possible. Number 3, if they can make an informed purchasing decision, you will have lower sales. Of course, but this isn't just about hero images. Again, this is about every single image. If you're not giving clients enough information for them to know exactly what they are buying, then they will receive most likely something that they are not looking for. They need to know exactly what they are getting, and the only way you can make them know exactly what they are getting is to have good images that transmit that information and that gives them the right message. 4, last but not least, is more or less everything that I just said. It will decrease your customers' trust. What happens when you don't have your customers' trust? Or what happens when a buyer or a potential buyer doesn't trust you? They don't buy. And if they don't buy, you won't receive sales. And if you don't receive sales, you're wasting your money and time. Even if you have the best PPC, if you don't have a good image, then you're just missing time and money. Why? And I'm gonna place myself over here so you guys can read. Why does your image get blurry? Remember that Amazon, even though it's an incredible platform, it's still a website. And what happens when you upload images to websites is that they get compressed. And when an image gets compressed, it loses quality. That is why you have to work with an image that is so high quality that even when compressed, it still keeps that, let's say, good looking feel. You can still read the text, you can still see the details and you can still read everything that you need to read. If it's a phone, laptop, iPad, etc., the quality can vary because the format varies as well. So if an image that looks incredible on desktop suddenly changes the format to mobile, most likely the quality will change, and you will be able to see that if you go right now on Amazon and look at a listing on Amazon desktop and on Amazon app. So make sure to check that out, and make sure, of course, that the image works for everything when you are exporting it. More or less what I just said, the browser tries to maintain the original format of the image, and when they do that, the image can get compressed or it can get decompressed, and it can be more heavy. So even if you have like an incredible website for your brand and you're an established seller or an established brand owner, when you upload these images to your website, that's exactly what will happen. You have to make sure that the images work for all of the possible formats, if that makes sense. I just recorded a video actually about how you can optimize your listing for mobile, so make sure to check that out. Now, so Amazon will compress your image no matter what, like 100% it will. Even if you're a premium Amazon A+ content user, it will still compress your images at some level. So how can you fix a blurry hero image or a blurry image in general? Number one, check the resolution. A low resolution image will appear blurry when it's enlarged. The resolution that we work with at Shared Studio, it should be 300 dpi, which is dots per inch. So make sure to have that in mind. Just a quick tip I want to give you. You can resize the image. For example, the lowest Amazon allows an image to be is 1,000 per 1,000 artboard, if I'm not mistaken. But you can go up to 10,000 per 10,000 artboards when it comes to any type of image on Amazon. If you do 10,000 by 10,000, I mean, that's awesome. Most likely it will be too heavy to upload on Amazon, so you have to find a middle point. What has been working for us since we started on this business is 3,000 per 3,000. It's not too heavy, it's not too low resolution or quality, and it doesn't get extremely compressed up until the point that you cannot read it. Like, you can still see it perfectly, and I will show you an example right now. After this, you can optimize the image. Again, you can reduce the file without compromising the quality. That will be, once you export it on Photoshop, the quality you can choose more or less what you're working with. You have to make sure, of course, that the image is focused, because something as blurriness because of the resolution can be fixed if you have the original file, but if you took a blurry photo, that is not fixable, or at least not easily fixable, because we're not talking about quality anymore. We're talking about a bad image, which is completely different. And last but not least, this is a small tip, you can re-upload the image, and you can maybe check for glitches, maybe you can check for errors and see if maybe there was an uploading mistake if you have a bad internet connection. Then we have some requirements of Amazon Hero images. So as you already know, and this is something that we at Shared Studio work a lot with our clients, the Amazon guidelines say that Amazon backgrounds must be white, but we don't work with just white background images. At Shared Studio, we like to do something that we call pushing the boundaries, which is basically just reinventing the whole formula a little bit and include details here and there that really optimize the image and that makes it different from the rest of the search result page images. It's extremely important that you have into consideration that the more Amazon grows and the more Amazon sellers there are, a lot of people are doing more of the same. A lot of people are taking that white background image. So how are you going to stand out in a white sea of white hero images? You have to do something completely different. So we like to try lifestyle images or white background images with a hand model, using the product or grabbing the product or just holding the product in general. And we also like to do sometimes color background images. Sometimes they don't get approved, but sometimes they do. And they don't get approved just to us. They get approved for all of the other competitors doing the same. So if all of your competitors are having different type of images, then why shouldn't you? Or why shouldn't you take advantage of that? Because if you have a white background image, but your competitor has a red background image, who do you think is going to do better? Or who do you think is catching the attention more? You know what I mean? So make sure you basically follow the masses a little bit, but still be unique enough to stand out. if that makes sense, and if that's, I believe, a very good tip. Now, Amazon accepts different types of formats when it comes to uploading any type of image. We have TIFF, we have JPEGs, we have GIFs, and we have PNGs. I would say that when it comes to product images, make sure to work with JPEGs. When you're working with infographics or A+ content, I would say something that has more graphic elements, use PNG. I know this is all about hero images, but I just want to clear that out. And again, they cannot be bigger than 10 megabytes. That's what's going to happen if you work with bigger artboards. It's extremely important that you find a middle point that's not too heavy, but that it's not low quality. Then the products must fill at least 85% of the image. What does this mean? That if you have a product that is small, don't use a small portion of that artboard. Make sure you use as much as possible. In this case, we have an incredible example that my beautiful graphics and creative team made for this roller kit and ice roller and derma roller kit. We even used the box to make sure that every space is covered. And as well, we used this small asset here that we used in production in order to make the product stand on itself and make a beautiful and different composition. See, this is what I mean. We could have made just a photo of the two rollers laying down and the box behind them, but we decided to do something different, and it came out so beautiful, and the image was approved. So that's one example of pushing the boundaries for you. Last but not least, the images must have minimal to zero compression. Why? Because as I said, Amazon is its own website, and Amazon will take care of compressing those images for you. How can you create a perfect Amazon hero image? A hero image is perfect, literally perfect, when one, it communicates what the product is, so it should be understandable that if you're searching for olive oil dispensers, you can still see what an olive oil dispenser looks like, and maybe even use different props or details that will communicate what it is, because this could be a salsa dispenser for all we know. It could be a vinegar dispenser for all we know, but no, it is an olive oil dispenser, so you have to make sure that it's communicated there. In this case, we have a little bread in there, which we would be pouring the oil on top of in order to communicate that, but also when it persuades the viewer to click on it. However, though, and this is not here because it's a secret we've been saving, and I will give it to you right now, because we use Picfu. Again, Picfu, our best friends, we love them so much. When testing on Picfu, we always read the feedback from the people who vote, the people who answer the polls. They have always, literally always, for every single hero image test that we have done on Picfu, choose the image that gives the most information of the product. What does this mean? For example, we once sold a unicorn box, and we thought that a girl holding the unicorn box was going to be the most effective image. But no, it was not that image that won the Picfu test. The image that won the Picfu test was the one that showed most views of the box. A frontal view, a closed view, the box had two different levels, so the one that showed those two different levels, because people like to know exactly what they are getting, and if they can see that from the hero image, then 100%, yes, you have a hero image that is a winner. So in this case, we not only have an olive oil dispenser with an extra tip in some bread. Here you are giving the scale of the olive oil dispenser, which yes, is pretty big. You are giving the message that it includes two tops or two top options, and that you can use it easily enough to just pour some oil on your bread. So yes, a good hero image or a perfect hero image is the one that communicates what the product is effectively, the one that gives as much information of the product as possible in just one image, because remember, it is a first impression, and the one that persuades the viewer to click on it. So make sure every single hero image that you use for any of your products has those three requirements. How can you make a perfect hero image? Again, I'm gonna place myself over here. I'm sorry for moving so much. You have to show the product clearly. Again, it has to be on focus. It has to be in a good background, because using a lifestyle background doesn't mean that you don't see the product. If you do it correctly, you will still be able to see the product. You can ensure the compatibility between the text and the visuals This doesn't apply for hero images. Again, this is like a more mixed video between the content and the hero images. But basically, you have to make sure that there's a good balance between the image that you're using and the amount of text you are using, because the product should always be the center of attention. And that's funny because we just discussed it in a meeting an hour ago for Prosper. Then, when uploading the image, make sure you use alternative text to provide a text description of the image for accessibility and search engine optimization. All text must be powered, full of keywords. Like, it should be saturated of keywords. Every single description that you use should be filled with keywords. And that is something that you can make sure of when you are uploading every single image on Amazon. When you add that description, it's not necessarily going to show on Amazon, but it will show on the search engine optimizations. And if you search for olive oil dispenser, your product should be right there. And you should be using that keyword on the description of your images. And last but not least, yes, I mean, you should always follow Amazon guidelines, but make sure you're pushing the boundaries, because when everyone is exactly the same, when everyone's doing the exact same thing, how are you gonna stand out? That is the question of the $1 million. So thank you guys so much for watching. Going back to the screen, here you have our email, so you can book a free marketing consultation or a complimentary marketing consultation with Rafael or Diego, our incredible sales team. We would be more than happy to help you out and give you basically a quick look into how you can make your listing better. Subscribe, like the video. We are super happy to still be making this incredible educative content. And if you want to watch a video on something in particular, leave it in the comments below and we would be more than happy to make that video for you, or at least inform ourselves to make that video for you. As I mentioned before, I've recorded a video on how you can optimize your listing for mobile devices. Remember that at least more than 70% of users of Amazon are using the mobile version. They are using the app. So you have to make sure that all of your listing is fully optimized to use it on mobile in order to get those sales. So how are you going to do that? Go watch our video right now and learn how to. Bye!